If you have what you need, you will never run out. And if you are what you need, you will stay full. You hear me? Because once your life becomes your own, you're responsible for it. It's called accountability. And our rise and our demise has always been in our hand. Because it's easy to blame somebody else. But once our life become our own, ain't nobody to blame. We responsible. And accountability is gonna be the thing that matters. I just came through to be a charge, you know, on this day. I'm grateful for the day. You heard? I'm grateful for the moment. Because somebody somewhere didn't make it. You heard? And somewhere, somebody was just born into it. That's part of the cycle. But I'm grateful for the day. If you hear, when you find yourself in the presence of whatever come out me today, knowing it's Friday, then be grateful. You hear me? Because life ain't owed us nothing, you heard? What is truth to you? What is truth to you? Because you got to know your own truth. Not according to nothing outside of us, but according to your living experience, your living embodiment. What is your truth? That means what works for you. Because what works for you, and there's so many dimensions to it, apply where it fit, but don't force it. What works for you has a lot of your truths attached to it. Now your truths may involve your facts, but it'll definitely involve your truth. You don't listen, you're gonna miss it. What works for you. Beyond what sound good and beyond what feel good. More so in accordance with ourselves. See, because we could talk so talk so good. We could talk so good to ourselves and make ourselves feel so good by the things that we talking about. For the moment that we doing that, and then do nothing with what we built up from that further. Then when we start paying attention to that same thing the same way, and things external to us, people, places, or things, especially in this day and time, we need to be even more careful, because what sound good and what make us feel good ain't always good, even on the internet, even in the so-called conscious community. You hear me? You know, it's a lot of things that sound good, but you can't even apply in your life. and people be ready to go all in, you know, in certain arenas about what I'm speaking to right now. You know, about things they can't even apply, that's not even applicable in our day-to-day living. You know what I'm saying? And then more so, it's concerning somebody else's story, not our story. We ever actually, you know, it's amazing how we'll know. We could, if we got a favorite sports player, because I noticed this, so I'm just speaking real life shit. For those who in the sports, they could tell you everything about their favorite sports player, from the elementary school they went to the college, to the last college they attended prior to pro. And then when it comes to questioning us concerning ourselves, we don't know our story. We don't know our truth. That's something to think about. See, we're in a world where We want everything and don't want to go through nothing to get it. And then do the things that we have been through has been enough, at least in my opinion, has been enough for us to be able to acquire anything that we think we may want. And I'm not speaking that in the material realm, but it applies in the physical and external realm, because the inward process, everything we experience, we process it from within. So when we get outside of the world mind, where things is happening to us, and we get into the more divine and spiritual mind, where we recognize that whatever we're experiencing is happening for us, then you see it from a whole nother view. You know, the cup not half empty, it's half full. Or it's not half empty or half full, it's just a cup of water. It's just a cup of water. But what do you think? You hear me? See, your truth is your truth. But it may, and that's so powerful, because your truth could work for you if it worked for you. But it may not work for me at all. But that don't mean that your truth not your truth. It just sounds a way, but it's not no way. Don't think too hard. And sometimes we never overthink, but sometimes we just think too hard, or we too used to thinking the same way. You hear me? But that's what makes life a beautiful thing. We all get to experience it for ourselves, and each and every one of us have our own truths, you know, connected to the experiences that we have had. You hear me? Or having. So it's a beauty. It's a beauty. Life is not just beautiful, it's a beautiful experience, you know. And I'm saying it from a place of knowing what it's like to come from a place beyond what I'm able to speak to today. You hear me? Because I've been in the trenches, you know. I've been through I've been in all those places, those lower vibratory realms, internally and externally, to know. You hear me? So that's why I speak to and speak for the people and the things and the experiences that I do, because I've been there too. You heard? But everybody got a version of truth. Everybody got a version of truth, and everybody's truth is valid. That's what makes belief so powerful. That's why from the time we born to the time we expire, this whole monopoly, this whole institutionalized monopoly that we operating and cooperating in, I'll say it like that, is designed to some way, somehow have our attention from the time we born to the time that we, you know, finish our contract here, because belief is so powerful. I don't care what you believe, it'll work for you, because your belief. You don't listen, you're gonna miss it. Because your belief is the power, you know. Imagination, one thing, but belief is a whole nother thing. Because once you believe it, nobody can't tell you that that's not real to you. See, that's how powerful each and every one of our truths is. But that's so everybody got a version of what truth is to them. but don't forget the facts. Vice versa. We got to flip it and shift it as needed. You know, things I once believed, I don't believe today. You feel me? So that's what expansion. That's what growth. That's what maturity. You know, that's what ascension is all about. You know, things that we once believed, you know, we probably don't believe no more. You know what I mean? Things that once was cool probably ain't cool no more. That's part of the process. You heard? But we can't forget the facts that come with the truth, because they go hand in hand. And maybe this is just my perspective, you know, but like a lot of things, you know, I'm coming through the shed, you hear me? Truth can be personal. Like this, like what I'm sharing is to me, truth can be personal. And then at the same time, not be found universally. So when I say truth and then I say facts, facts are things that can be found more universally, even though many people may share the truths that I may be sharing. When we go to factual things, it's more something that can be found universally. You know what I'm saying? And then or at least in a scientific way. And then we have to question whether that is truth or not. You hear me? Think about what I'm saying. We have to question everything. You know, questions is part of the awakening. I repeat, questioning is part of the awakening. Questions are a part of the awakening. Because otherwise, what are we awakening to if we ain't asking no questions about everything that evidently had us sleep in the first place? What are we awakening to if we ain't asking no questions? Not asking questions about nothing new, but asking, or nothing we learning to be able to ask questions, but questioning what we was already told, what we already accepted, what we already, in a lot of cases, conditioned our lives to. Those are things that we're supposed to be questioning. To awaken come with questions. That's all the awakening about. The question, what was previous. You hear me? But what y'all think? Tell me what y'all think. You know, like I said, I just came through to be a charge and let things flow how I flow. You know, salute to the people who is trying something new, because we're in a world where we scared to try something new. You know, to the point that we'll stay stuck in what's familiar, regardless of the detriment it may be causing. We're afraid to try something new, you know, and open-mindedness can be scary, especially when we so used to certain mind states and mindsets that was established for us, you know, to when something is different is appearing, we don't really know what to make of it, you know, or we try to condemn it and we throw rocks. Don't throw no rocks at me like they did Jesus, you hear me? You heard? But the most powerful thing about your mind is also the most valuable thing about your mind. And it's the fact that we can change it whenever, we can change it wherever we want to, anytime that we want to, you know? And nobody can do nothing about it. As I said earlier, belief is the most powerfulest thing that each and every one of us have. Because nobody can tell us different. Once we believe it, nobody can. Once you believe something, ain't nothing I was gonna be able to say that's gonna make you change your mind until you change your mind. You see, so the most powerfulest thing about you is your mind, which is also the most valuable thing. And you know, don't you put no cap on it, cause ain't no price can equate. You hear me? You can change it whenever you want to, wherever you need to, you know, and no one can do nothing about it. You know, and it's okay to unroot. It's okay to unroot some things to get to the root. You know, it's part of the journey too. It's part of the journey too. I had to do it. Anybody who doing self-work, shadow work, inner development, you know, internal fitness, whatever you want to call it, you know, don't have to do it too. You got to unroot some things to get to the root. And one thing for sure, when you do, once you see, you'll never unsee what you saw. You hear me? Once you see, you can't unsee what you saw. You hear me? So I represent those who got out the box, and I represent those who getting out the box. Salute to the new Soul Tribe. Salute to the new subscribers. Salute to the Conscious Family and Soul Tribe who been rocking with me. You know, y'all know in all I say, ain't no telling what I might say, but I'm gonna say something that make you think. That's my job, to make us think, you know. I just want to remind us that who you are is enough, because who I am is enough. You hear me? Give thanks. Don't forget to give thanks for your life. You heard? Give thanks for your life. You know, and give thanks for life, allowing you to be a part of living. You hear me? Word. And I say that because the earth could thrive without us. We get so egotistical, man. We get so big-headed, and we get so, we get out of place. You hear me? In all the place that we have, we get out of place. In all the place that we have here, we get out of place here. And I want to remind us that earth could thrive without us. She don't need us. Earth could thrive without us. She was thriving before we appeared on it. You hear me? Earth could thrive without us. I want to say that again. But we can't survive without Earth. Y'all think about that. That's a humbling insight. You know, that's a humbling insight. But what y'all think? Give me y'all take on it. You hear me? If it ain't raising your frequency, if it ain't expanding your knowledge about your life, your place and your reason for being, if it ain't establishing a sense of peace, a sense of joy, a sense of happiness, to some point, to some effect, if it ain't bring about healing and maturity and growth and transformation in your personal experience, I don't care who wrote it. I don't care who said it or who said it. Why would you embrace it? Why would you embrace anything that ain't working for you? Including me. You hear me? You hear me? There ain't no sheep in wolf clothing. I be transparent. I love being naked with all my clothes on. You hear me? You let people know what's real and what ain't. You heard? But if it ain't working for you, maybe it's time to switch something up. I don't know who needed to hear that. And the fact that it ain't working for you is a sign that you need to switch something up. So whoever need to hear that and all I said, because that was for somebody, it's okay to change your mind. You hear me? Change some things up. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Don't let the distraction distract you, because the distraction's gonna be there, you hear me? They ain't going nowhere, you know? And they there to get us to where we gotta get to, for those who get on the path to get to where we supposed to be going, you heard? You don't listen, you gonna miss it. But we get better at dealing with them. That's the purpose of distractions, get better at dealing with them. To after a while, they don't even, what happened? Oh, I ain't even know something happened. I ain't even know I ain't even know I was supposed to react to that. I ain't even know I was supposed to respond to that. You hear me? Because you ain't responding from this or reacting from the same place that we used to. You heard? That's what it's all about. Raising higher, elevation. So I represent those who got out the box, man. I don't even know if it's a box, a package. Maybe it is a package in the emojis. You know, it's 2024. I know they got a package in the emojis, you hear me? If you're doing the best you can, we're gonna put a box in the emoji. We're gonna put a box in the comment section. There's so many things coming through. We're gonna put a box in a package in the emoji in the comment section for the night's submission concerning the raffle. We're gonna put a package in the comment section as submission for this month's raffle. I had to hear myself say it again because it sounded like I said something else the first time, you hear me? But we gotta keep up with all, our, with all the parts, you hear me? But other than that, feel good to feel good for no reason at all. If you don't have one, find one and use that every time you need it until you don't need a reason to do it, you hear me? Feeling good is feeling God. Once again, thank y'all all. We'll do this again when we do this again. And my name is Sawu. Love.